Every trader makes mistake, every trader will make mistakes. No amount of ego will be greater than experience, knowledge, and humility. Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com here with the daily market recap. Please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. Let's see the charts. Very tight price action today on SPY, but as we can see, Fibonacci Traders Premium Room Discord, we took some small size short once price broke below this trend line. We always look also multi-time frames, higher time frames, SPY 65 minutes, which means each and every candle represents 65 minutes. Once price broke below this trend line, below previous candle's low, we took short all the way to the downside, all the way to the lower trend line, as you can see. Then we closed the short because we expected some kind of a bounce, because we know trend lines are the true support resistance for price action. As you can see, no other indicators, not even Fibonacci, not even volume. We follow price and use trend lines to manage risk and position decision. Then we expected some bounce. Also we had 50% doji. Then we all know where the SPY went. Doji and went to the upside. So yes, we can understand price action and we can assume with high probability where price will be headed next before the move. And as we said, very tight price action, doji of the 395 area. Price is getting tighter and tighter. We have this trend line over here. We have a trend line, the blue one. Now, as we can see, price range is getting tighter. Let's see which side will win. Bears or bulls? Let me know in the description below. What do you think? Which team will win? Bull team to the upside, bear team to the downside towards this lower red trend line. Let me know in the comments below. Very interesting to know. What do you think? QQQ breaking below the 308, as we said in previous videos, bouncing between 308, 313. Bulls gave up. Now it looks like this trend line is going to get retested as support because it was a very important level of resistance. IWM continuation doing nothing since March 13, 2 weeks basically of nothing, sideways move. If you try to trade this kind of trend, you will get chopped out and your account will get chopped. Doji, inside candles, dojis after dojis, no decision in the market. So if the market cannot decide, we surely cannot decide, and we need to sit on our hands and wait for a clear decision from the market. Same goes for the Dow Jones, bouncing between the 315, 325 to the upside. No clear trend, dojis, indecision. We need to wait. Are we going to break above this blue trend line, or are we going back to the downside towards 318, 315, and maybe towards this red trend line? Let me know in the comments below. Overall, what do you think? Who will win next quarter? The second quarter of 2023 is just around the corner. What do you think? Bull team or bear team? Bitcoin, trend lines, Fibonacci levels, candlestick analysis, basically moving sideways between the 26,500 and the 28,700, 800. We need to wait and see where Bitcoin is heading. Breaking below this red trend line over here, look left. It was a very important level of resistance. Now it should hold as support. Failing to hold the support, We have the 25K together with the orange trend line, the 23, 24K if you like, together with this yellow trend line. But in my opinion, once the orange trend line will fail to hold, the 23,800 will not hold as a strong support, and we are going towards 22,800 and maybe all the way back to 19,700. Ethereum, same thing, trend line together with the 1,800, very tough resistance. Bulls are going to give up very soon, in my opinion, if in the next few days until the end of this week bulls will fail over and over again to break above this red trend line and close above it, they will give up, and then price will go to the downside. Same price action it made to the upside over here, same price action we are expected to the downside towards 1460 or even towards 1370. Follow price, look left, where price came from, what it did to reach where it's now, and expect the same move yet again. XLE, double bottom scenario, we are waiting for a break above the 8130, and as we can see, since we identified this red trend line, we got a bounce, very nice support. Now let's see if price can reach this red trend line as resistance, because only by looking left we can see that this red trend line holding as a very tough resistance for the lower highs. Natural gas, continuation to the downside, 210 needs to hold, otherwise 190 and 1666 is in the cards. But on the positive side, if the 210 will hold for a few consecutive days, we can expect some kind of a bounce back towards 240, 264, and if the 264 will break to the upside, we have this gap over here, and we know that more than 80% of all gaps will get filled throughout time. Oil, since we identify the bounce of this blue trend line, and if you follow me on Twitter and you saw previous videos in the past few weeks, we said that once price will break to the downside below the 74, it will reach this blue trend line, and then we can expect a bounce. And a bounce it did. Now, all the way back to the 74.20, it was a very tough support, very strong support, needs to say. Now, it will become a very tough resistance. If bulls will manage to break up and above the 74.20, yellow trend line is coming. Gold, consolidation after a very nice bull run from the 1800 towards 2000 and this red trend line. Trend lines are the true support resistance for price action. I sound like a broken record, but because this is it. Technical analysis and trading in general needs to be boring. We are here to trade the process, and the process, if you have a very strong strategy and a very strong mental capability, the process will be boring in the end. And this is how it should be. Boring, not exciting. If you're looking for excitement, go to Vegas. Now, gold, consolidation, 1960 needs to hold, otherwise 1930, but we are expecting some kind of a bounce and retesting this red trend line. Let's see where gold bulls or bears are taking us. AAPL, breaking below the trend line, doji. Now let's see if this blue trend line will act as support, but for now it looks like Apple bulls are starting to get weaker and weaker. Now we can take Fibonacci swing low, swing high, and we can see Fibonacci acting here as support, failing to hold, 154 to the downside, and this blue trend line together with the 153, which is also the 618 Fibonacci retracement. Microsoft, after a very nice double bottom scenario, validation, finished the double bottom all the way to the 284. Now, sideways move. Doji, inside candle, indecision on Microsoft. So we need to sit and wait to see where the price for Microsoft is heading. Short below the 268, long above 283. This is only my opinion, of course. Always do your own due diligence. Never follow anyone blindly on social media. Paid or free services, doesn't matter. You can follow to learn, to get ideas, but in the end of the day, it's your money. No one cares for your money except you. Google, 106. Now, retracing back to the 100. The 100 is a very important level of support because it was a very tough level of resistance. So let's see if the 100 area will hold. Otherwise, we can assume with high probability 95.50 will be next. AMD, since price got rejected once again by this trend line, bulls are having a tough time and bears wants to take full control, and they will take full control if they will be able to close below the 93 area, and then 89.50 together with this middle trend line will be next. Failing to hold, 86, look left, was a very tough resistance, so 86 will be next very important level of support. NVDA, also here, look, since Friday, March 17th, almost 2 weeks of dojis, indecision for NVIDIA. So we need to wait. Can we get a bounce of this yellow trend line back to the white one and maybe break up and above? Or if this yellow trend line will fail to hold, we are going back to this green trend line and we have this void over here. Gaps are like magnets for price action. Now we can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, and we have all the levels together with the trend lines to manage our risk. And as you can see, the extensions to the downside, Fibonacci gives us exactly where the gap is going to get filled, to 1140. Meta, breaking down and under this trend line below the uptrend channel. Now 197 needs to hold, otherwise incoming for this gap to the downside. 175 will be next, and then we have this gap over here. Now we can take Fibonacci and we have all the levels to the downside. And as you can see, price bounced off a Fibonacci level. This is candlestick analysis, technical analysis. It's not rocket science. Understand the relationship between candlestick analysis, aka price action, with trend lines and Fibonacci. Swing low, swing high, 96.70 holding as a very important support. For now it was support and resistance throughout October, November, all the way to January of 2023. Now it's acting as support. Breaking below, we can assume with high probability that this blue trend line will get retested as support. Tesla holding with all they got. Bulls of Tesla are holding the 185 because they know if the 185 will fail to hold, we have 176, 163, and they want to avoid this void. Will they succeed? Let me know in the comments below. We have all the Fibonacci's to the downside, and Fibonacci tells us that if price of Tesla will start melting down, we have 182, 174, 164, and if 164 will break to the downside, this gap will get filled all the way to 137. Shopify 44 to the downside together with this blue trend line, 45 to the upside, but for now we sit on hands and we are looking for some kind of a decision on Shopify. To the downside we can take short above 45.80, maybe 46. We can take long. We can be a little bit more accurate like this, 44.40 together with this trend line, 46.20 to the upside. Netflix downtrend, bounce, broke above this trend line, 618 Fibonacci, 2 consecutive dojis, 320 needs to hold, otherwise this trend line will get retested as support. In this point, I would like to ask you, so I do hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, will be much appreciated. Don't forget to check the links in the description below. One-on-one mentorship program or the pre-recorded Fibonacci Traders program, 6 hours, 49 lessons. The only program out there with lifetime access for support, guidance, all Discord channels. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next video, stay safe.